No, I should talk about Doctor Strange. What's my win rate on Strange? 50% win rate. Hey, listen, Rocket, 2 wins out of 3. Look, guys, listen. I played a lot of Strange. I played a lot of Strange, bro. I played with a Scarlet team up, especially. If you don't know, they basically nerfed Strange. They gave him a bunch of nerfs. I talk about the patch notes. And I played him a lot. I think, how many games did I spend? 9 games. So that's quite a bit of games. I don't like him. I think they really, like, removed a lot of his ability to do stuff. He is okay with the Scarlet thing. Team up in the sense that, you know, Scarlet Witch gets gigabuffed if you have a Scarlet Witch player. But you want to play Strange? I know, bro. Like, no matter how many times, you know, you do your damage, and might seem really insignificant what the changes are, because very small amount of damage. There's a lot of situations where people escape with like 1 HP. And it's really infuriating because I know for a fact that I am probably 100% I would have killed that person. And that one person living is just so crucial to so many fights. Just because they nerfed his damage so much, because his burst is really important. And you can't burst down enemies anymore. Even with your ult, you barely do any damage. So he does have 100 HP, so you die a lot less, right? 100 more HP. It makes such a big difference how fast you kill people. And even compared to back in the day, just like killing these bots, you can really see the difference of... Like, at this point, he would have been dead, right? The fact that I need to do another input to kill him, it really ruins the flow. And the character feels a lot slower, a lot less lethal, a lot less fun. I don't like shield botting, right? So I don't want to sit there with my shield up. I want to sit there and just tank a bunch of damage for no reason. Not to mention that he also lost the Gamma team up. So that's quite a bit of potential damage. And it just feels a lot slower, a lot more sluggish. It doesn't feel like you have the same amount of lethality. You have to rely on your team more. You kind of play around, you know, you don't play around the point as much. I mean, in the sense that you don't want to be too aggressive with him because you can't get away with killing stuff, right? For Scarlet, it is a good team up. You do a lot more damage and you farm your ult a lot faster and you can kill the backline a lot faster. But like, I don't want to play Strange for a Scarlet Witch. I have been playing Strange the entire day for Scarlet. Miserable experience for me. Like, if we look at the stats, right, I didn't have fun on Strange. I've always had fun playing Strange, where I like just do love silly things and I just kill people and it's really flashy and it's really fun. But even just looking at this game, I have 17,000 damage. I did really well this game. I actually really well performed. I have 17,000 damage, the lowest amount of damage out of anyone on my team that's not a support. Their Strange has 15,000 damage, which is ridiculously low number for Strange. So it's you lose like a couple of thousand damage because of the nerfs. Because all of the shots, they're less damage each shot. All of the bursts, your E, a lot less damage. 10 per person you hit. Over the course of a game, it's a lot less, right? He doesn't counter Emma. Emma can just grab him and she can stun his ult and she can shift his ult. So I know how he counters Emma. The only thing that counters Emma is that his shield blocks the ult, but that's it. That doesn't mean he counters Emma. If anything, Emma counters him. He charges his ult a lot slower as well. But if we just look at the games, here I have 17,000. Here I play Rocket. And here I play Rocket. Here I actually have 28,000, which is quite a bit. So that is quite a bit of damage here, to be honest, with the Rocket. But I have a feeling I would have a lot more damage. Here they have a permanent Storm and Rocket, so the damage is a lot higher on their end. Flash was playing Strange here. He has 19,000 damage. I have 12,000 damage. 25 in 3. I almost have the same damage as Inviswoman. I almost have the same damage as Inviswoman, bro. Before, you would play Strange and you would have the same amount of damage as the DPS, or like a little bit less or a little bit more. Now it's just like none. Like most of the games, you barely do enough damage. Match time is different. I'm comparing my performance, bro, to other people's performance, bro. What does your comment have to do with anything? Am I comparing my damage to the damage of my other games, or like what? I'm comparing my damage to my team's damage. Do they play a different amount of games? Like, is it a different duration for them? Flats played for 18 minutes. You played for 9. I don't care. Guys, what does that have to do with my argument? Who's talking about? I'm comparing my damage to my teammates' damage in this game. L rage bait, guys. Stop rage baiting me. I feel like I'm in Dormammu's presence, bro. My damage compared to my team's damage is fucking ridiculously low, right? That's my point. My point is that over the course of a game, you will not do the same amount of damage. Like, look how slow it is to kill a Luna. Like, if you just look at the amount of time it takes me to kill her with my left clicks and my melees. It just feels a lot slower than before, right? You would like... You would be able to kill her by now. And with your think, with your E, with your Malevolent Shrine, it's just that you can't even one-shot true support hoods if they're 250 HP. All of his damage is basically decreased. Because his left click is decreased and his E is decreased, right? So I don't feel like he's great at all. I think he, right now, after playing him so much today, I think he's good for teleporting, right? And I think he's also good for the Scarlet Witch team up, right? But is Scarlet Witch really that good? I don't think so, right? I don't think she's that good. I think she's that useful. You can get value, but you can get more value on other characters. She's fine. She's better than before. So I feel like a lot of Strange gameplay has been like focused a lot more on his defensive side. So I'm playing a lot slower, which I don't like. I rather have 100 HP less and have some form of the damage that I used to have, right? You can even, like, if you want to reduce the damage, if you don't want him to play in a way where he just one-shots everything, you could reduce his damage on his E even more and just reduce the cooldown on his E. Like, if you don't want him to be one-shotting, which I understand, sure, you don't want to die to him instantly when you peek him. You could just allow him to shoot his E more often, right? That would be a different aspect of his gameplay. But like, I don't think he was such a big problem. I don't think he was so bad. I don't think in season 1.5 he was that bad, like that good. I think he already was quite bad in the sense that Magneto and Thing are really good against him. And I always thought Magneto is just a better at the things that Strange does, right? The only thing Strange had was that he was more lethal, and his ult, more often than not, was more effective at killing the enemies. Just landing a big ult would just win you the game. Like, with the addition of Think, what happened was that why would you play Strange with Mag when you can play the Thing and pierce through 2 shields and constantly apply pressure while also being able to dive the backline, right? So in that sense, he was already nerfed. He got 1 nerf for his HP. He got nerfed with Wolverine, and he got nerfed with the addition of Invisible Woman. Because Invisible Woman is really good at pooping him away when he tries to ult or make any play, right? Like, he was already not in the greatest spot in the sense that he was good, but he wasn't the best. Like, he was really good, right? But he wasn't like OP. I feel like there was plenty of other characters that felt a lot more problematic and a lot harder to deal with than Strange. Like Hela and Groot and... even Magneto is really strong, but I don't know if I want him to get nerfed. I feel like he's strong because you don't really have too many options besides him to play for that sort of tank. Like anchoring, that tank that can just sit on point, like apply pressure constantly, and just stay alive forever with a shield. So I feel like Groot should have been like also nerfed this season, but Strange got some pretty big nerfs. And again, like, it is insane that Groot doesn't get touched because Groot was played consistently everywhere. And he changed the game so fundamentally. If Wolverine is banned, you can't really deal with him. He's played so often in pro play as well, and like he completely swings the tide of the battle if you play him. Groot is like a perma-ban in all of my games. I don't want to play against him. It's really hard to deal with him. I don't want to play Groot either, but he is Groot, right? So compared to Strange, I feel like he's a lot more problematic, or at least was. Because again, I feel like Strange has so many counters nowadays, so many things that can deal with him, and his gameplay loop was pretty fun, to be honest, in the sense that you would just charge up your E, you would charge up his E, and then like you would burst, and it felt pretty cool, and then you had to plan it with your E, and you had to plan your ultimate and your damage and your burst and think about your shift, and your shift cooldown was so long, so you had to be really tactical about the things you do. And when you popped off, it felt really good, but now it feels like you're fighting fucking demons all the time, right? It feels like you're just sitting there. Like I'm constantly just poking. Like I'm just sitting there and I'm constantly just doing barely any damage to them, right? Like half the things feel unkillable. If I try to push in, I just get grabbed by Emma. Emma bullies me. Wolverine bullies me. I just get bullied consistently by everything when I play this hero. The only time I actually do anything in this hero is my ult, but I farm my ult a lot slower now because of all the damage nerfs. So even in that sense, I genuinely, I feel like I get my ult maybe like 30% slower, which is quite a bit. And even if I hit it, I can't one-shot them, right? So if the enemy team plays really well, I would just get countered no matter what. Like, it is not that hard to counter Strange, especially with Invisible Woman. So as I said, like right now, it just felt like I would just sit on cart a lot or just in a corner. I wouldn't really die or anything, but I would just sit there and I would take a lot of damage, but I wouldn't be able to kill anything. Like when you look at my gameplay, right? I think the more like whatever fight where it's more easy like to showcase how sluggish he just feels, right? Especially with the addition of Rocket Raccoon's ultimate and stuff, and like all of these characters that are super tanky right now, it just feels like you don't do enough damage to deal with anything. And I just feel like I'm tickling a lot of the times, right? That wasn't even my kill, it was just Luna killing him. I'm even getting amplified here, right? I might be really picky about it, but like getting amplified by Rocket, nice replay viewer, bro. How you doing? And like dealing so little damage to the ammo there is so funny to me. It does kind of feel like a tickle monster right now. Yeah, compared to how much damage like Groot does, it is so funny that they nerfed him in terms of damage, right? Patches are finalized quite a bit before. Big ult. So you can still get value on your ult. But like, look at me trying to kill the storm. Am I crazy? I don't use my E there because I don't have it. She dies a long time ago in last patch. It does kind of feel like an old bot, right? Don't I do as much damage as other tanks? Let me introduce you to Emma Frost. I can even do it faster.
You deserved that, dear.
Except Emma. Let me introduce you to Groot. Imagine if there's two wolves. I have a feeling like the strongest part of Strange was his lethality, right? And like tanks are supposed to be lethal. A lot of that lethality is taken away. All of his damage was taken away, and now there's no real reason to play him, right? Because if you compare him to other tanks, like he is just an ult bot, and his ult can be easily countered. Like if you compare him to Groot, Groot blocks a lot of like his walls change the shape of the battle. They do a lot of damage. They confirm kills. Emma has a lot of stuns. She's CC immune. The thing is movement immune. His ult CCs everybody. He can go in, he can go out. Magneto has a big ass ult that's really important and can one-shot supports, right? Thor is dead. We don't talk about Thor, right? Captain America just never dies. Venom, you know, has his thing where he just jumps around the map, and Hulk has his thing, right, where he also jumps around the map. So why would you play Strange, right? Why would you play Strange over Magneto? Do you want the shield? You have a shield on Mag and Strange, but Mag's shield doesn't take any damage. Do you want long range damage? You do have way longer range damage on Magneto. You don't even have to get close, right? And you have an ult that is super easy to use. You can counter so many ults compared to Strange, and you can one-shot supports across the map. And not to mention you have a bubble, right? So why would you play Strange over Mag? You wouldn't play Strange over Mag. But why would you play Strange and Mag? You wouldn't do that either, because why would you play Strange over Frost? Because Frost has an ultimate that goes over everything, stuns them, denies ultimate, and his shift, her shift stuns people, makes her CC immune, can one-shot supports, can one-shot people. You can't. Like, there's no point. I think Strange definitely needs more nerfs, for sure. For sure. Like just comparing the Groot ult. Groot ult is so much better than Strange ult, and just it's an instant team fight win, because you just place a wall down, even it's one wall, and you can just shoot it across the map. You can't boop the Groot or anything, right? and you just win the fight off of that, right? Unless they use support ult. With Strange ult, you can block it with shields, you can block it with Invis Woman, you can stun him, you can do whatever you want, right? So now that people know Strange's tricks, it's so much harder to hit your ult as it is, and you just do so little damage. There is no real purpose to play Strange for a lot of situations. I know if he's the worst tank, probably not, but like I just don't like him as a tank right now. Like even this, right? Like even this, like here where I just hit a bunch of shots on the bot, I need to shoot one more time to kill him, which is quite a bit. Like if I hit every shot, right? The fact that I need to do another shot to be able to kill something is a lot. Because you do have 4 bullets and I'm not gonna hit all of those shots there. It just makes things survive when they shouldn't. In the games where I do well, I would have done 10 times better with the Strange. I think he's in a bad spot right now unless you play a Wanda, but I haven't seen a single Strange be like scary. And I don't know how scary Wanda is to actually want to do that, right? Yeah, the more time it takes for you to kill something, the more time they have to get healed, and the more time they have to get healed, the more time you're gonna spend doing nothing, right? Like there was no game during those 10 games where I felt like I was like going crazy, had crazy carry potential. It just felt like I was playing Reinhardt in Overwatch. I was just shielding a lot, right? I was just shielding a lot and I was just kind of poking a bit, and then people would get close. But the time for me to kill the TTK is so much lower. Also, you do have to remember that there's fall off, right? So that 10 damage reduction is quite a bit once you know, like, I don't know how much is the fall off. It's quite a bit of fall off, right? I think 70%. Anyways, it's not a fun tank in my opinion right now. As I mentioned before, it's just like, I really like going in, charging my E, you know, playing really well. Managing my resources to land a big E, get my ult, kill everything. It was really satisfying, but now it doesn't feel satisfying. So I'd rather have them take away the 100 HP and give me the damage than have this tanky Strange that, like, if you want to play a tanky tank, you have better options. And I think Emma is also a good counter to Strange. I think her E, when she's shifted, you just stun him and you just slam him into the team. If he tries to ult, you can just stun him. It's super easy. It's super easy to do as well if you actually have half a brain cell, right? So you do have half a brain cell, you go fucking crazy mode, and you can't use your ult against her if it's a good Emma. Somebody said that you build your charge based on the shots, not the damage you do. Let's not forget that he lost his Gamma team up, right? If you're gonna lower his damage, at least keep his Gamma team up, because then you can, like, at least if they kept his Gamma team up so he had the same amount of Gamma damage as he had his old damage be, like, if you reduce his damage all around and you want to play old Strange, like, if you want to reduce his damage overall, keep the Gamma and reduce his Gamma damage, right? So it's like old Strange damage. That would be fine by me. But there's no Gamma team up either, so you lost a lot of damage. You lost a lot of damage because Gamma was where Strange was eating, and it was really fun. I really like Gamma, so it feels like a lot clunkier. No Gamma, less damage. Can't one-shot in the ult. I'm just like a walking shield. I'm a walking shield with a team up, right? So yeah, it kind of feels like Reinhardt 2.0. Yeah, you can't kill with ult through support ults unless you get damage boosted. Yeah, Strange stocks have dropped like crazy. I mean, no, the anti-heal is really good. So as a mechanic, it just punishes you for being too greedy, which I like. I just think they should make him less tanky and more lethal again. It's just fun playstyle for him, right? That's just how he plays Strange, right? Taking away a toy from gamers is just really boring. I don't want to play a tanky Strange. I wanna go in, charge up my E, do a lot of damage, do like one shot with my ult. It's cool as fuck. I mean, Strange is getting giga nerfed. As I said, he wasn't really that OP last mid-season. I don't mind the nerfs they did for mid-season, but like after that, I think he was in a nice spot. He had so many counters. It's just impossible to play him into Wolverine and stuff. And the thing bullies him, and now Emma bullies him. And Iron Fist is super strong right now, and he bullies the fuck out of Strange. So considering all these characters that counter him, plus Iron Fist, plus the damage nerfs, plus the loss of Gamma, I don't see a reason to play him. Back in the beta, he used to be really broken. Back in the beta, you could animation cancel your shooting. So you don't know that, but you would shoot and then shoot again. It was so funny. You shoot, and I've already killed her. She was already dead. Shoot and then you shoot again. It was so funny. It was like perma Strange meta. And you would farm your E so fast and just like send it out. I mean, Strange in Season 0 was really good. In Season 1, he was good. Like, before the thing came out, I think he was like S tier, easily. But again, the thing counters Strange, and then you have so many counters to him right now, so... And he's bad against Dive, because you can't really help your team, right? And Mag and Groot and Thing and everything are just better, I feel like. Yeah, just play Mag over Strange. There's no reason to play Strange right now, I feel like. Learn Groot. Groot is super broken. Emma is better, I feel like. Yeah, he just feels really sluggish. You just use him to TP and then you fuck off. It's okay. I'm okay with him being bad for like a mid-season. Emma feels mid. I don't fucking know about that one, bro.